What's going on, everybody? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports as we have a major Stephon Gilmore visit update as he did unfortunately leave the building yesterday. But from what I'm hearing from Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores, I anticipate a deal will get done. But also before the night practice yesterday, we got some unfortunate injury news around J.J. McCarthy, but I just want to say there is no reason to panic just yet. So I will get you guys that information there. And then also Bo Richter. Is he a lock to make the team? Number 98 performed very well against the Las Vegas Raiders. Has been performing very well throughout Vikings training camp. So we're going to tackle all of this on today's show. But before we dive into that, if you guys want the Vikes to be healthy this entire season, don't jinx it. Hit that thumbs up icon. I put the goal on today's video as 400 likes, so I'm hoping we can get there. So if you guys want to help me out and get the injury luck in favor of your Minnesota Vikings, hit that thumbs up icon and like today's video. So the update we have around Stephon Gilmore is his visit with the Minnesota Vikings went very, very well. But unfortunately, Stephon Gilmore did leave the building. Now, I was assuming maybe he would stay for night practice and maybe a deal would get done, after that practice concluded, but no deal was done. He left the building, but it was actually during the night practice, a fan asked Brian Flores, just pretty much saying, hey, Brian, is a deal going to get done with Stephon Gilmore? Flores kind of gave a little bit of a smirk to the fan that asked him. So clearly Flores wants him there. They already have familiarity with each other as he did win his Defensive Player of the Year award under Brian Flores with the New England Patriots. And that was actually back in 2019 where Stephon Gilmore was the best cornerback in the entire NFL. Now, is he the same player he once was? No, but can he still be very productive and very effective for this Vikings team? 110%. But man, he was special during that 2019 season. 13 pass breakups, 6 interceptions, only allowed a completion percentage of 49 that year, and also gave up 624 yards. But the thing I loved about Gilmore the most this season is, literally opposing teams' quarterbacks would just not throw the ball his direction. He was a true lockdown corner that year, a ball hawk, great hands, can go step for step with whatever wide receiver he was getting matched up with that year. And even this past season with the Cowboys, he was very, very effective as well. Obviously not the same player, but I still think he can be or have an immediate impact with Minnesota. But Kevin O'Connell talked about the visit before the night practice yesterday, and he said this. He said, we had a great visit with him, similar to one of those visits in years past. I would say it was a really good dialogue amongst Stephon, myself, other coaches, getting to know him personally. Brian Flores, obviously has a relationship with him from the past, and DB's coach Daronte Jones wanted to spend time with him as well. So from what I'm hearing and what I've gathered over the last, 24, 32 hours is I fully expect a deal to get done. Also, Adam Schefter hopped on the Pat McAfee show saying that Stephon Gilmore wouldn't just take a visit to take a visit. Clearly, he had some interest there, and I think, after every season when all these report cards come out about like, hey, what NFL team has the best facility, best calf, like all these other, things where you get graded on, the Vikings are always at the top of the NFL. So bringing him in the building, getting around this culture we have instilled in Minnesota, I think there's going to be interest for Gilmore. But, the Vikings should have extreme interest in Gilmore as, this cornerback group, I was trying to be optimistic all offseason, but after just one game against the Las Vegas Raiders, they clearly need to make a move. Now, you got Byron Murphy, got Shaq Griffin, and Caleb Evans right now. I have them slated out as the starters. But then you got like Fabian Morrow, Nashawn Wright, A.J. Green, Dwight McGlothern, who I like him, but are you relying on him to be a true rotational piece? Probably not. Then even my guy Duke Shelley. I actually think Duke Shelley has a chance to get cut, sadly enough. So the Vikings going to need to make a move at this group. And listen, Stephon Gilmore might be the best Vikings cornerback day one. Like, he already knows the system. Brian Flores is trying the one. He already has, true top-end talent at that position. So I think he can step in, run that cornerback one. You move Byron Murphy to CB2. Then you have Shaq Griffin and a Caleb Evans duke it out for that third cornerback spot. But what would he bring to the Minnesota Vikings? Like I just said, he's going to bring talent. Like, even though he is 33 years old, he is still one of the best cornerbacks or one of the better cornerbacks in the National Football League. Probably not a true CB1 anymore, but, he could definitely fit that role. But the thing I love about bringing in Gilmore the most is the veteran experience he would bring. The Vikings have a lot of young corners in that group, and just having that mentor, having that guy help you out day in, day out of every single practice, go through the highs and lows of an NFL season, I think that impact could be extremely valuable, not just for this season, but also for the next 5 with this young cornerback group. But what say you guys? What is your confidence level in the Vikings cornerback group? Give me a scale for me, 1 through 10 down below in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this secondary. Now, we did get unfortunate news before the Vikings practice last night went underway as J.J. McCarthy wasn't participating. I will say this. If you are a fan who attended the night practice, I am sorry. That is incredibly disappointing because probably after the preseason game versus the Raiders, that is what all of you guys were looking forward to, and JJ wasn't able to go out there. But this was Kevin O'Connell talking about it. He said it was out of precaution. We're going to continue an evaluation on him and get some more testing done. He is a very important player, obviously, so we want to make sure we're smart before he participates, making sure we have a good understanding of where he's at. Now, I am not worried whatsoever around this J.J. McCarthy injury unless he does not travel. Now, the Vikings do have joint practice with the Cleveland Browns on Wednesday and Thursday, and they're anticipated to be traveling today. If he doesn't make that trip to Cleveland, he doesn't, participate in the preseason game that gets underway this Saturday, then I'll be a little worried. But JJ needs these reps, and, I'm hoping this is just a, precautionary thing like Kevin O'Connell was talking about. But I'll give Purple for the Win podcast a great YouTube channel. This gave me a laugh last night, so if you guys don't follow him on Twitter or haven't checked out his YouTube channel already, go check him out. But he said, hopefully KOC's routine soreness doesn't turn into Zimmer's tweak. I thought this was hysterical, just dating back to the Danielle Hunter tweak that ended up being a season-long neck injury that he had to get surgery on. So hopefully this routine soreness is not I'm not even going to say the word, but hopefully it's not a severe injury for McCarthy. But my take on him missing time is if he misses any time during the preseason, Sam Darnold will 100% start. Now, I've came out on the show the past couple of days that I really do believe the Vikings need to start J.J. McCarthy week 1. But if he misses time during the preseason, then I am cool with rolling out Sam Darnold. But let's just say J.J. is healthy. Let's just say he does play in the joint practices and he does get some good reps against the Cleveland Browns on Saturday. I am still in the camp. You start him week 1. And I was also thinking about this, thinking a little big picture here on the channel. When is the Vikings Super Bowl window? It's probably the next 2 to 4 years. I want JJ to get all those rookie mishaps, those rookie mistakes out of the way this season, as I already believe he is NFL ready right now. I understand the Sam Darnold argument, and, I don't feel strongly either way. I see both sides of this, but I just think as it stands right now, have JJ start week 1, have him go through the learning curves, because we even saw it in the preseason game. He threw an interception, bounce back, learn from that mistake, and he absolutely lit up that Las Vegas Raiders defense. So that's what I would do. But also, speaking about the Cleveland Browns, we got joint practice starting tomorrow. We'll have a video coming out on the channel right away after and the next day breaking it down. But we are in a sub-battle with our Browns Report channel here at Chat Sports. They got a good lead on us, but hey, let's catch them before Saturday. If we could somehow make up an 8,000 subscriber lead, I would do unthinkable things to get that to happen. But hey, if you guys could hit that subscribe button, lock us in. Don't miss a thing around your Minnesota Vikings. Now, coming up next year, I do want to talk about Bo Richter and if he is a lock to make the final 53-man roster. I'll give you guys those thoughts here in a second. But first off, I got to welcome back my favorite sponsor here at Vikings Now by Chat Sports, Prize Picks. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show, as they are America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Now, Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. Now, week 1 of the football season is just around the corner, and I already have a lineup for week 1, as I'm going to take the division rival, Caleb Williams, his more on his passing yards at 236.5. He looked good in the preseason. Hurts me to say as a Vikings fan, but I'm going to ride with the kid from USC. And then I'm also going to take the more on Justin Jefferson receiving yards, whether it's JJ or Darnold in there at quarterback. I think he's going to light up that Giants secondary, so I'm taking the more on his 89.5 receiving yards. Then also DJ Moore, Caleb's #1 target this year. I'm going to take his more on 63.5 receiving yards. But hey, whether you guys want to ride with my picks or fade my picks, I just suggest you guys do so at Prize Picks. Now, download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. Now let's talk about Bo Richter, as maybe a little bit on me here. I didn't give him enough love in the 2 videos I made following the Raiders preseason game, but this man absolutely lit it up. In just 20 snaps, he had 2 sacks, 2 pressures, 6 tackles. Technically, he had 1 sack recorded as a tackle for loss, but I'm going to give him the credit there and give him the sack because that's just what it looked like, to me. And I'll tell you what, he kind of looks like J.J. Watt. Like him out there preseason week 1, he had the arm sleeve on. He was looking swole as ever. And you can't tell me he kind of looks like a poor man's J.J. Watt here. He also kind of looks like Brock Lesnar a little bit in this photo. If you guys don't know, Brock Lesnar was actually a part of the Vikings for a training camp period a long time ago. But Bo Richter, he looked the part, man. He's ferocious. He plays with a ton of confidence. He plays with swagger. And I remember, I forget what Vikings beat reporter it was talking about training camp, but they were saying Bo Richter, they were like, who is this 98 guy? Who is this guy jumping off the screen? Well, it was Bo, and he's going to be a big addition to this edge group. And, the more I look at this department for the Minnesota Vikings, the more I get excited about it, because I think you truly have a top-tier edge in Jonathan Grenard. Maybe he isn't the caliber or tier of edge rusher like a Danielle Hunter was, but then you also mix Grenard with Andrew Van Ginkel, one of the most versatile edge rushers in the National Football League. Then we saw Dallas Turner be one of the best left tackles in the league twice already in his first preseason game. And then Gabe Murphy, UDFA from UCLA in North Texas, he looks like to be the real deal. Now if Bo Richter ends up popping, the Vikings have an elite edge group, and this could be one of the better edge departments in the entire National Football League. And if you look at the past Super Bowl champions, what is the one thing that carries through time? You got to be able to get to the quarterback. It's like having a bullpen in the in Major League Baseball. Like, I think the Vikings have a chance to really shock some people in terms of their sack production this year. But also Van Ginkel, he did have a pick 6 last night, and I will give him credit. It was a great read by him, but this pick 6 was mainly on Sam Darnold. It was ugly. He tried to fit it into, I don't even know what type of window it really was, but Van Ginkel just popped up, dropped back in the coverage, had a pick 6. And I'll make a little hot take here. If Van Ginkel, if he stays healthy throughout the entire season, he'll have a pick 6 this year. He had one last year with the Dolphins, and I just think he's going to flourish under Brian Flores. But my take overall with the Vikings defense as it stands right now, if they are able to sign Stephon Gilmore, they will be a top 10 defense this season. I'm already leaning to them being a top 10 unit no matter what, if they bring in or they don't decide to bring in Stephon Gilmore. But if they do, they will be top 10 because there's talent on this side of the football. I mean, look at these 10 names I put up on screen right here. And now if they do sign Gilmore, you can replace Byron Murphy with that, even adding a little bit more juice to the side of the football. But you got the edge rushers, Grenard, Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, not even listing guys like Bo Richter or Gabe Murphy on this list. But you got the linebackers and Cashman, Pace. You got the safety trio and Metellus, Bynum, and Smith. Then you actually got a decent amount of pressure from the interior with a guy like Harrison Phillips. He's still very solid. So I think this defense is going to be legit. And plus, you got the best defensive coordinator in the National Football League, in my opinion, in Brian Flores. But hey, you guys let me know. Will the Vikings have a top 10 defense this season? Not top 15, not top 20. I'm talking top 10. Will the Vikings have it? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down below. Now, if you guys want more Vikings content on your Twitter timeline or X, whatever you want to call it, give me a follow over there. That's a handle at Pat Sieps. And just thank you guys so much for supporting the show. But if you guys give me a follow, I'll give you a follow right back. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.